Is that working? Good morning. How's my mic? Thank you, Gruffy Pleasure, for letting me know that my mic was muted. My God. That should be working now. You didn't miss much. I was just saying good morning. And also thank you to Taekwondo for subscribing over on Twitch. Awesome. Okay, good. Mic is muted. This recipe book is just saying that this particular recipe is got too much spice in it, which... Oh, I just have to mute again. Sorry. Which, considering it's got 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, checks out. I still want to try the recipe though. But maybe with less cinnamon. Okay, let's check out what quests we can pick up. Outlander, I have need of your services.
May I tempt you with my wares?
Most fortuitous greetings, Offworlder. I have been stuck for an eon at this post, checking manifests one after another. This is not real trade. Real trade is done on the streets of Tazavesh. It just so happens that a contract of mine from your world was unloading waste cargo. I bought the whole supply. Expired storage contracts of some sort. However, I know better than to be trading without a permit. It would bring good fortune to my endeavor to have your help with this. Can I count on you?
Until our next transaction.
So I think what I'm going to do is get rid of all other quests on this character and then just do the side quests. I'll follow each thread separately because I don't want to get confused about what story is mixed up with what. Ugh, I guess I could just untrack all the other quests, that's all. Yeah, that'll take less time. I wish you could mass quit quests. Mass abandon quests. There's probably an add-on that lets you... Oh, I've got way too many quests. Oops. There we go. The knife's edge. Oh, and I have... Is this bus outside? It looks like it. Oh. Just running into the portal takes you through it. I've never seen that before. Sorry, my net cut out the second I subbed, so I missed if you said anything. Taekwondo, I said thank you for the sub twice, and the first time I said it, my mic was muted, so you wouldn't have been able to hear it anyway. But thank you very much for the sub. It means a great deal to me. I have somehow managed to teleport out of Koresh, and I don't know why I'm here, because now I don't know where the Koresh portal is. Hopefully it's in here. If it's not, I'm in trouble. A portal that teleports you if you just run into it is quite weird. Ah, there is a mysterious notebook. Let's go read that. My initial theories of these people's power and destiny were incorrect. Their strength and power are not merely the result of long-term Titan planning or the curse of flesh that afflicted some of the species I've witnessed, nor is it solely the proximity to the arcane energies that instigated rapid changes in nearby fauna. It's not even just creatures from Azeroth that showcase this behavior. I count species from 3 distinct worlds, Azeroth, Draenor, and Argus. Through my network of informants, I have determined that while they are from different origins, even in far-flung worlds, they have all traveled here from Azeroth. That must mean something. A visit to Azeroth is warranted. The diversity of energy mastery is impressive. Light being as common as void and shadow, nature magic flourishing in this barren ruin of my home, arcane casters tempting with void beasts with their structured energy. What I am most baffled by is how some visitors have not mastered any cosmic power at all and survive purely on their martial skill with weapons. Are these just lucky fools, or is there a greater stratagem I do not see? Haha, warriors getting called out there. My master wants detailed numbers and notes of fights and conflicts from a variety of opponents. Oh, this will be the Shadreen notebook, hey? The corruption of the Shadow Guard makes their conflicts with these mortals the easiest to get detailed information about. I have some long-range observations with their fights against the Void Beast, but that is lacking in fidelity. The Wastelanders are a source of conflict my master would expect to see, but their stubborn connection to their oaths is making this difficult. I encountered Locust Walker a few years ago. As I expected, he noticed my activities soon after I arrived. Our meeting was not pleasant. He blames me and my master for this current situation, as much for our inaction, his words, as for our activities in the Void Fallen worlds. He issued a few credible threats towards my existence should I move my plans from observation to experimentation. My master will want to know how I will overcome this resistance, and will not be satisfied with just letting this foolish plan of Locust Walkers play out to his detriment. My master will not receive this missive before this conflict concludes, so I may be able to solve this problem the way I have solved so many threats. Observe and report. Who's her master? Clearly, Locust Walker knows. It'd be great if he could just tell us. The fashion of these mortals ranged from impeccable and dazzling to ridiculous and intentionally garish. Few wore an ensemble I would categorize as bland. Having a go at our transmog now. I am astonished that with all the time spent in combat that they have time to assemble such outfits. I managed to acquire several scraps of their fabric. Over 98% showed strong signatures of transmorphication. We'll compare this to the consortium quarterly balance reports I acquired. I suspect this is where much of this ethereal cartel the power source may be. We'll write more about after this business on Koresh is done. Very, very, very interesting. What's that down there? That's just mining. Well, so it's not like they hid Shadreen's notebook at all. It's right by the entrance of Koresh with a great big magnifying glass.
As if we didn't have enough trouble. Now the mail is backed up. That postmaster is from your world.
Shush.
You must know her insane sorting.
Okay.
There is a price for my aid.
Zivers sent you? That little scoundrel can't even face me himself. Ha!
We are done here.
There is a difference between securing a permit and securing permission to sell in Tazavesh. Zivers is a licensed dealer. He can buy and sell as he pleases in accordance with the authorities. However, I am glad he knows his place. If you are on my streets, you need my permission. Not everyone knows this. Cartel Bar likes to test the waters. I'll award your permission if you teach them a lesson. I'll award you your permission if you teach them a lesson. Okay.
Was there anything else?
Your demise has already been negotiated.
Let us exchange words.
That's not...
Yes? Can I help you?
Okay. That's a little bit weird, but sure. Basically just go punch this guy who's already getting punched.
My time is valuable.
Very
you know.
well. Zivers is free to buy and sell whatever he pleases on my streets.
Do what
Take
you're
this
back.
ledger to Zivers. Let him know I expect diners up front and on time. There are to be no discrepancies between my records and his. Do you understand? You may head to the market to inform him. Knowing traders like him, he'll already have found a spot to set up shop. This venture has my blessing. Don't let it become unprofitable, or we'll be seeing each other again.
Is that all?
Oh, can't read it. Contains detailed instructions on dues owed by Cartel Zai. These little kitties keep distracting me. They're so cute. There's another magnifying glass to take a look at.
Everything is
Do we have good
negotiable.
news?
Remember,
The boss wants a higher
everything
price,
has
but
value.
it is a fair ask of a new venture. We will succeed quickly or we will fail quickly. Let's get to work.
your patronage
Now
is
then,
always
On
appreciated.
to business. I hear a tale that your world is full of heroes on adventure, and where there's adventures, there's need for storing their treasures. Always. Thus you have turned to our kin to keep them safely deposited between realms. Yes, void storage. I thought they forgot about that. Yet not one of you read the contract. We have since ceased such services and returned goods to their owners. What? You and I are selling opportunities to purchase what remains. Blind, of course. Help me prepare. What?
You struck a hard bargain. Good
Very
show.
well. Oh, what is this? Quickly, return the goods to the vault before customers see. I'll check the registrar. The vault contains a mount. Check the treasure pile. Are they going to get rid of void storage? Is that a hint that they're getting rid of void storage? Why is it called that if we can see it? Looks like we are missing a weapon still. Okay. This quest is great. 39 splinters of a staff. Not a weapon I'd consider reliable. There should be a trinket as well. Perhaps the trash pile? I can't wait for the Ghosts of Koresh to drop. It looks really interesting. Yeah, so far it's been great. What else was that? A withered carrot tied to a stick? What even is this? Looks like we are missing a weapon still. Okay, I don't know what all these references are, I'm gonna admit. A very colourful sword indeed. Ours look better.
All goods and services
Excellent. With that
for
out the
sale.
way, we can begin sales. I'm a little
Until
worried
our
about this
next
void storage
transaction.
thing. Let the sales begin. Who would like to buy from this void portal? Says here it belonged to a hero from the dunes of Murug region. Bidding starts at 50,000 Azerothian gold. 100,000. 100,001. This is too much for me. I'll save my gold for the next one. I'm worried about my void storage, guys. Are they getting rid of it? I actually have things in void storage. I'm one of the few people who still use it. Although it's so irritating that you can't put like unique items in there or anything. Wait, before I deal with him, let's go read this. This thing. Is that here?
The trust will restore our world.
Coins, an oath we exchange. This dense ledger contains the foundational economic history by Azarka on the history of coins, debt, credit, and the philosophical underpinnings of the Koreshi monetary policy circa 238 BD, before Dimensius. The idea that the coin replaced the practice of barter, a story often used to show progression from pre-Manusa civilization to our current modern multi-state economics, is entirely an invention of the previous writers and has no basis in history or archaeology. This is not to say that the ancient Qureshi did not barter, but the story of an economic system based on trading all livestock animal for an equivalent amount of grain as an early form of economic system was just made up, giving no thought to the issues of valuation mismatch, standardization problems, and the varying inefficiencies and labor introduced in the process of determining value for the supposed process. Previous authors created this fiction out of whole cloth precisely because it was ridiculous. They wanted to portray our ancestors as foolish and ignorant and our modern-day systems as wise and natural. A coin is not the physical embodiment of livestock or grain. It is the embodiment of an oath. Putting aside the reverence of Koresh, and with apologies to my childhood instructor, Oracle Bamuj, and I never did memorize those sacred poems, the coin is an element of our concept of the exchange because it combines two of the three elements. Many radical students may assert that a coin will also equate to death, but this is a treatise on economics, and I am only willing to go so far in my heresies. Setting religion aside, oaths tie us to promises we make to others in society, to our families and peers, and to other members of our community. As societies grow larger, keeping track of these sacred promises becomes more difficult. This is not necessarily for more personal or spiritual oaths. I need not inform the residents of Tazavesh that I have fulfilled my vow to take a daily constitutional to improve health. But as our societies grow larger and the web of obligations becomes more elaborate, the debts we owe or call in grow ever more complex to record. My long-winded ledgers may have value to scholars of the exchange, but little value to the farmer of grain or the rancher of livestock in the wilds. Does my oath to finish this very term hold value to them? Is that equivalent to their oath to feed the community? How do we compare the value of such disparate oaths? Coin. It is the record of my oath to my publisher to put my thoughts in order and publish before the end of this calendar year, or the oath of the rancher that meat of their livestock will be slaughtered, dressed, and fresh in the market, or a technomancer's oath to bind the essence of flame with the ruined slate so that I can heat my tea in the afternoon. Different oaths, often abstract, but important and valuable not for their physical value, but because they fulfill oaths we have made in the story of our profession, and contribute in some way to the community at large. This is why oracles of Koresh view the coin in the same sacred category as death and rebirth. All of them are grand acts of transmutation. Okay, that was kind of boring, if I'm going to be honest, but I wonder if it's got anything to do with the coins that we've been given in our dungeon journals, you know, the shadow-scrawled coins from Shadreen. Guilty Pleasures on YouTube says it's pretty underused. I forgot that existed, to be honest. Lol, talking about void storage. Yeah, totally. I used it on my original character, but I haven't used it since. Yeah, I guess nobody does use it anymore, so they are going to probably toss it. It's weird to have the quest, but I haven't seen any news about them getting rid of it, though. I can't let anyone else make the oath. What was it? I have to do something. Okay.
We have toiled endlessly for this day.
Something must be done. Zainal seems to notice you. Oh, sorry. May I help you?
Your patronage is quite appreciated.
Overwhelm them. There's an audit coming up. My employer, Zion Ports, will be audited. Again. Zainal visibly shakes, ducking his head. I need this audit to go badly. It must be worse than the last. Can you help me? We have a shipment of small devourers that would cause a lot of trouble if they were to escape or go missing. Break open their crates. Business needs to be overwhelmed just like last time.
May you succeed in your endeavors.
Mandatory time off. If my colleagues knew of my plan, they would be in danger of discharging their oaths as good employees. Besides that, they are far too excellent at their jobs. Take these, they're devices of my own creation. When placed near my colleagues, it will create an illusion of them working. They will be able to step away and rest, and the business will be under even more pressure without them.
The trust will save us.
With the pressure you and I are going to create, not even my co-workers will be able to
Do you
keep
wish to
that
trade?
up. Why do you want your business to fail? I don't want my business to fail. I need it to suffer a hiccup. If we inflict a little chaos now, I can restore everything at the end. When you see what the coordinator is doing, maybe you'll understand. Zainal's voice is on edge. I would be acting against my oath as an employee if I made the business fail.
It is
Understand?
good to see our ethereal kin again.
Now they're very big on oaths, this lot. I think it's still a good feature though. Void storage. I think that void storage should be changed so that you can actually store unique items in it. The amount of times I would have loved to be able to put like an artifact or something in void storage because it's something I want to hold on to, but I'm not going to always go get it, you know. But you can't put unique items in void storage. So it is very weird. But yeah, getting rid of it completely kind of would suck if they don't introduce other storage, but maybe they will with player housing. It's my pet. An illusion. Ty Zanal, I thank him for the reprieve. I'll report soon. Yeah, I agree with you there on the unique items thing. Yeah, thank you. Zanel's illusions have become very convincing. I think we might actually be able to take a break. Oh, thank you. And thanks, Zainal. I'll take a break momentarily. Where? I'd have to go to Dalaran to check my void storage. It's the only place I regularly go visit the void bank.
At last, we return to Karesh.
Good. Things are in disarray. This is a start. Perhaps you're just the measure of mayhem Perhaps you're just the measure of mayhem I needed to pull this off.
Always a pleasure.
I'm glad none of my co-workers will have to see what we're going to do. They deserve a rest.
The trust will save us.
We've made good progress, but we need more disorganization. I've redirected a partially large shipment of anima in the form of a devourer. Kill it and bring its anima core to me. Why do they want anima? The anima itself is not important, alright. Rather, the fact that it can be stolen. My boss will have more to answer for in the audit when his books are in disarray.
Always a pleasure.
When our imports are delayed or lost, the most direct impact is on Tazavesh business. Take this illusion pin. It will make you appear as Zai Imports employee. Tell the businesses their shipments are delayed indefinitely. My boss cannot ignore downstream pressure
It
forever.
is good to see our ethereal kin again.
It is only temporary. With some rest, my co-workers will be able to tackle the backlog of work with new vigor, and there will be no more coordinator Zyther bearing down on them. Associate Zynal shifts uncomfortably. Good, my enchantment works. Remember, you're from Zai Imports, and all shipments are delayed. Can I please ask, at the rate of sounding like a newbie, why are the brokers seemingly at odds with the other ethereals? So far, I haven't really noticed the brokers being particularly at odds with the other ethereals. See, look, here they're chatting. There's certain ethereals that are in the wastelands and they don't talk to pretty much anyone who's in the cities, but they seem to have a... that seems to be because they're like religious and they're upset about their god not talking to them. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be any particular animosity from what I'm seeing. Okay, how do I inform these traders? Do I have to put this back on? Need to be in here, inside this building, on top of this building? Oh, wait.
Let us exchange words.
Mysterious eggs. Hey, you could buy eggnog. That's pretty cool. Aha.
You have my attention.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that had something to do with the Ravels versus the Wastelanders. No, like in general, that seems to be the only conflict, from what I can tell. The Ravels versus the Wastelanders. As I said, there's definitely ethereal in the city. I don't know why the brokers are unique, though. If they explain that, I haven't come across it. You're from Zai Imports, aren't you? Where's my shipment? It is several hours late. Zai Imports offers their regrets. Your shipment of anima has been delayed indefinitely.
Spend your time wisely.
I think that is a part of it, from some of it from what I've seen. Delayed indefinitely? Where am I supposed to get anima from now? You've made yourself the only affordable source. Yeah, what's going on with this anima?
Speak your mind.
Have you news of my shipment? My customers are expecting goods, but I am unable to finish my work without that anima. Zaya Imports offers their regrets. Your shipment of anima has been delayed.
We have worked too long.
What do you
to
mean
fail
indefinitely?
now.
I cannot indefinitely pause my work.
So this is what has become.
I sense you come
of
bearing
Koresh.
ill news, associate. Speak. Zai Import offers their regrets. Your shipment of anima has been delayed.
These Shadow Guard dogs will not deter
Coordinator
us.
Zyther continues to disappoint. A dreadful temper and frequently late shipments.
Yes, can I help
Tell me you have my shipment, associate. Your boss assured me I would never have a late shipment again, but it seems my trust was misplaced.
Demencius must not be
What
allowed
a grave
to return.
insult. To think Coordinator Zyther would make such a grand overtures only to fail me yet again.
You have my attention.
Anima, do you have it? What happened on my
There
shipment?
remains much to do.
Indefinitely. Well, I am definitely your client, and you have definitely failed to deliver. Again. Now let's go delay the shipment indefinitely. We just transporting anima as devourers. That is quite funny. Are you the courier the coordinator spoke of? Courier? Coordinator Zyther is making oaths with mortals now? This is highly unusual. A highly valuable concentration of anima formed in the stomach of an oversized devourer. You should be allowed to take this core and go put it in your Covenant storage.
A deal is just another kind of oath.
The Zai Imports Associates transporting this anima are expecting a broker of sorts to relieve them of their charge. They will give you no trouble.
Your patronage is quite appreciated.
Zainal slips the animal core into a messenger bag. More incriminating evidence for the audit.
May you succeed in your endeavors.
Zainal's voice is rough. We will soon resolve their worries. Better a temporary strain than an eternal constant stress.
Your patronage is quite appreciated.
I can hear Coordinator Zyther raging about the slide in business already. Zainal shifts uncomfortably and ducks his head. We're ready. Go to Port Authority Zoral. Tell him you represent an investor party and that the audit should be moved up. And there's one more thing I need you to do. Speak with me before you go.
It's good to see our ethereal kin again.
Okay, what else do you need me to do? We've modified the illusion pin. Take it. You have to convince Port Authority Zoral to wear it, if nothing else. None of the evidence matters if he doesn't. Do you understand? What's the pin supposed to do? Zainal fidgets anxiously. It will help. It's illusion magic, like we used before to help my coworkers. Please, you must understand. I can't do this again. I need this to be the last audit. He wraps his arms around himself. He must wear the pin. This guy's weird. Why must this be the last audit? Zainal shakes his head quickly. His voice is rough. The last. It will be the last. Please don't ask me anymore. What on earth is going on? I will make sure Zoral wears the pin. It's
The
cool. Calm
trust
down.
will save us.
Oh, there he is.
Wealth can solve any problem.
I'm very busy, Hunter. The docks are in disarray. The incoming and outgoing vessels are delayed by several cycles. What is it you want? I'm here on behalf of an investor party. You need to push up Zai Imports audit. An investor party? Zai Imports is appearing in my reports more and more lately. If I could straighten them out, the majority of issues on the docks would be resolved by proxy. I appreciate the tip. I will prioritize an audit as soon as I can.
Always
Please wear this
a
pin to
pleasure.
the audit. A pin? No doubt from your investor party. It appears enchanted. The nature of this magic... Yes, I think I will take your gift, and I will be auditing Zai Imports immediately. Okay, I mean, like, if somebody gave me an enchanted pin and asked me to wear it, I would have lots and lots of questions. I wouldn't just put it on, but okay. Let's see why. Okay, Zainal, we
A
good?
deal is just another kind of oath.
Zoro is wearing the pin. Zainal's shoulders loosen. Thank you. Now you and I must be careful.
May you succeed in your endeavors.
It is time. I cannot tell you what to expect. I only hope this is the last day I must keep such a dreadful oath. Zainal shakes his head. Let us hurry. Port Authority Zoral has already begun questioning Coordinator Zyther.
Always a pleasure.
Hurry! Zainal? Coordinator Zyther, I was speaking to you. I have more questions I want answered.
We have toiled endlessly
Coordinator
for this thing.
Zyther has been evasive thus far in my questioning. Are you ready to confront him properly? Sure, let's
It's
begin.
good to see our ethereal kin again.
Zyther, your books are in a complete disarray, even dating back to my predecessor. I apologize, Zoral. I'm certain that my associates have failed to provide you with an accurate copy of my ledgers. You don't need to look any further, do you? Ah. A suggestion spell? I see now why I needed a pin with illusion magic. Coordinator Zyther, you no longer have permission to do business on my docks. Zynel, I'll kill you! I see, because of the oath thing, Zynel probably couldn't just directly go against him, because it'd be breaking his oath. Ah, no! That's enough, Zyther.
Wealth can solve any problem.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Zynel appears exhausted. His figure is slouched. Now we do the work to send the business on track again. But perhaps after a bit of a rest. I can rest. The coordinator, he won't be able to find me. A unique brightness comes over Zynel.
May you
that's
succeed
sweet.
in your endeavors.
Zynel, you've forsaken your oath. You swore to never reveal what I did to Port Authority Zerlin. I did no such thing, Zyther, but you have just done so yourself. You and I are going to have a long talk, Zyther. Zynel, what happened to Coordinator Zyther? Worry not, my friend. Our oaths have been discharged. It's time to do business properly. Okay, so yeah, it's just reinforcing the fact that oaths are a very big deal to the brokers and the ethereals because they can't just break them. They have to find ways around it. They should hire you to read one of the books. That's very sweet, thank you. But as you can tell, although I do my best, I also stumble over words a lot, so... Okay, there's this quest. Are there any more magnifying glasses around here? I wonder if there's an associated achievement for the magnifying glasses. That would be great. Yeah, Discordian Kitty has a very good voice to listen to. Thank you. It's a very strange thing to have gotten to my age and only now I hear people, I get compliments on my voice a lot these days and I'm like, nobody has ever complimented me on my voice before, so it's very nice, thank you. Traveller, a moment of your time. I have a proposal you should consider with all due haste.
At last, we return to Karesh.
Allow me to introduce myself, Traveller. I am known as Bar Krill. As you know, my people do not imbibe as you do. My proposal is simple. Help me concoct a new energy drink and I shall allow you to use it free of charge. It will most certainly make you a hero among heroes. Is that not worth the whisk? I have acquired various potent energy sources. Infuse them in the berry juice cocktail and let us see how potent we can make it. I'm a goblin.
The
I've got
trust will
Kaja
save
Cola.
us.
Let us start with one of each. Ah. This is cool. I'm making a void infused cocktail. Void infused, Azura power infused, and Mana Cell energy infused. This is going to be a hell of a cocktail. Now let the infusions guide you. Go with your gut or whatever it is you people have for innards. I don't think this would be good for my gut if we're being honest. But I am a goblin, so I can probably handle it. I imagine Azurite powder is... I don't know. Like sherbet? Truly an inspired result, traveler.
Do you wish to trade?
Unbelievable. It works and we are not blown into incalculable number of minuscule pieces. I do hope this formulation proves useful not only for you, but for the future of Koresh. Now, on to phase 2, testing and market research.
Your patronage is quite appreciated.
Since I never doubted our success, I took the liberty of making further preparations. I have arranged for a couple of volunteers. I want to see our new energy drink in action before you imbibe it, Blood Bubbles. May I call you Blood Bubbles? Of course I can. We're partners now. You will find the volunteers lounging on the high terraces of the city. Tazavesh has many such comfortable areas for visitors like yourself.
It is good to see
You'll
our
find the Riftwalker
ethereal
and
kid
Dredger
again.
among their own on the terraces. I've paid them in advance. Let's see how they like our new drink. Dredger? The first time I came across Discordian Kitty was with her take on the jailer or Primus, and I thought, yes, I'm not the only one who thinks the Primus was behind it all. Oh yeah, I'm so glad that you like that. That is my big thing, my big theory is the jailer Primus one, and I'm also so glad that I'm not the only one who thinks that, because to me it just seems so obvious. Every time I look at it as well, I see more evidence. When I was making the video, I found so many things that I had to keep adding stuff to the video. I wish I could find, you know, the glyph thingy that keeps making a noise every time I mount up. I'm finding it very irritating. It's got to be somewhere. Anyway. Getting distracted. We need to perform. I do hope they reopen the club soon. The Ventir are hanging out here. There's definitely some people who worked on Shadowlands who are like, we want to bring some Shadowlands stuff back this patch. It's very much a Shadowlands patch in a lot of ways.
I said you was a
Oi,
mole.
you're that champion the trader said will
that
be coming
work?
by with the new drink to try out. Dredgers don't normally drink anything since we're shaped from the clay and whatnot, but I've been practicing. Let's have her then. Just put it in me cuppa.
Master's watching.
Right then, let's get to it. Bottoms up. What in the great dark beyond? I'm not sure what to think about that. A bit metal, a bit nutty.
That's a lot of weapons you
Feels
carry.
like I could pound the drums
Going
all
to
night,
war?
but other than that, I don't feel no different. Sorry, mate. How droll. Okay, let's check out the Riftwalker. Seriously. Oh, he definitely isn't what he seems. Hopefully they'll come back with something on him to prove it right. I have been told that there is a faction of devs who like my theory and want to see it be made real, but it's like it's no one high up. It's not like I doubt someone like Chris Metzen even knows about the theory. But apparently there are people at Blizzard, or at least there used to be, who like it. So maybe one day, who knows? Seriously, that is such a good theory. It fits so well. I feel like Blizz would give us hints because they're usually on the nose, but I want it to be real. Yeah, like I don't think it was honestly planned, but I do think it's there regardless. And could we please not have Arthas just go off as a wisp and poof? So disrespectful. I mean, I don't mind. I've got to be honest with you. I don't mind disrespecting Arthas. I've never liked Arthas, so I'm fine with it. I do think it was like, there's a lot about that raid that's just, what's going on here? What were they doing? But it wasn't what bothered me. Out of all the things that bothered me in the Shadowlands, that wasn't something that bothered me so much. Maybe it's because I'm ex-military that I could see the strategy being so cunning. But I totally agree with your take on it. Can we farm rep with that faction? Which faction?
The
Riftwalker.
universe is full of mystery.
Elia. Hello. What is she? Oh, right, of course, the Void Elves. Backroll said you would arrive with a drink. When I volunteered, I didn't know Tarawin and Eteri were going to want to continue my training so soon. I thought I had at least another day. Well, I made an agreement and kept my word. Let's get to it.
Unchecked emotion leads to ruin.
No time like the present. Let's get this over with. Alaya, what have you done? Wow, so much void energy. I definitely feel more powerful, but it tastes horrible. Rash, you need better judgment if you're going to be one of us, trainee. The last thing we need is to make things difficult for Alaria. We'll leave for Shaldora as soon as you compose yourself, Alaya. Apologies, it won't happen again.
We embrace a new future.
Okay, I didn't really see what she did that was so terrible other than drink the drink. Oh, Faction of Faction of Devs who love my theory. I'd love to gain reputation with them. Letting Sylvanas have the last word, though. Jaina is right there. It makes far more sense for her to get to speak more there. I do think Jaina should have been able to speak more. I don't even want to begin to get into Sylvanas. I didn't mind her getting the last word, but I don't like what they did to Sylvanas. But I don't like what they did with Battle for Azeroth. It wasn't really Shadowlands. I think Shadowlands did it best to try fix her. Yeah. What's that? Bakishroth stares at you with malign intent. Oh, sure, let's give him the energy drink. Why not? I killed it. Oh dear. Bakishroth the Empowered. Time to free the others and destroy your city. That seems like a bad thing. We're just gonna leave him? Cool. Oh, these cats are cute.
A deal is just another kind of oath.
Destroy the city? You must help me quickly and quietly deal with this situation, partner. Have I become that which I sought to oppose?
May you succeed in your
If we were
endeavors.
to consider the silver lining here, it's that we now know our concoction works, just not on whom we wished. I do not suppose you have it in you to defeat this empowered version of the creature. It is only our reputations and the future of Tazavesh at stake. Another chance to prove you truly are as mighty as they say.
Always a pleasure.
Quickly now, my friend, before Bakishroth unleashes terror upon the city and we wished we were back in the Shadowlands. Trader Bakro. I don't think anyone wishes we were back in the Shadowlands. Not even if Bakishroth unleashes terror upon the city. And where is he now? Nice of him to go and wait for us, though. I can never find the entrance to this building. I don't hate the lore and story overall as much as a lot of people seem to, but I feel like Blizz keeps failing to fill the gaps between points A and B, especially in the game. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of times where the players just haven't been brought to that point. So it feels very sudden, it feels very unearned, it feels very strange. Even going to the Shadowlands, a lot of it felt like they hadn't really... Oh, I can open this door. They hadn't really considered what they wanted to do with it. You did this to me. For that you have the privilege of being the first to die. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I was just giving you an energy drink. Also, as a goblin, I could have told them it's maybe a bad idea to mess with this whole situation in the first place. Shadowlands was a funny one in my opinion because you have multiple mythologies embedded. You know, the thing with Shadowlands is I find it so frustrating that like I feel like they were trying to do something that they'd done with Legion. Ignoble to die in this void forsaken city. With the whole having 4 perspectives, you know, the 4 storylines thing. I think they were trying to do Order Whores again. But obviously doing Order Whores is a lot of work to get a story for every class. So to me it felt like they was trying to still do multiple storylines, but without having the huge workload, which isn't necessarily a bad idea. But the problem is you can't just introduce this new thing and think it's going to matter to players as much as Order Whores did. The reason why Order Whores was so successful is because they had decades of class fantasy to bounce off of. Like, people were attached to their classes and it really mattered in a way that being a member of the Winter Queen's court or going to Revendreth just never is going to. Nobody's ever going to care as much about those things. And it's like they almost didn't seem to realize that.
Wealth can solve any
All
problem.
is not lost. This will blow over in time, and I know now the drink can work. I will get it right next time, and we will have a tool in our arsenal in case another well-intentioned group like the Ravel rises again to rain destruction down upon us. Oh, so he's anti-Ravel. I might need to lay low for a bit, but you are a hero, and heroes deserve rewards. Let's see here.
The trust will save
I will
us.
continue to work on the formulation. Now, where did I put my luggage? Discordian Kitty is the true villain behind it all, and she's trying to scapegoat on the promise. True villain, Manny, you know me too well. Speaking of Legion, you're calling out the Alliance in name in Peacecraft video gave me a giggle as a fellow long-time Horde player. I just thought, like, it's just so... I mean, the Horde in name is called the Filthy Animal or something, so I guess it's not that much better, but I just thought, oh god, it's so Alliance, isn't it? It's calling each other heroes. Come on, guys. Too many chefs in that story kitchen is what I've heard it described as. Yeah, that's a good description. And I can see how that can be done, because, like, if you don't have enough story, people complain. But sometimes it's too much. And if you don't have enough people working on the story, it's going to be bland and empty. But sometimes you got too many ideas and nothing gets proper focus, and it's just all scattered. And yeah, Blood Bubbles, I've been looking for you. Not that I personally think storytelling in Dragonflight or The War Within have been that much better, if I'm going to be honest. I feel like Dragonflight in particular, the story was a mess. And The War Within so far, I'm still waiting to be wowed. I'm enjoying the Ghosts of Koresh storyline though, I will say that. But I'm really curious to see Midnight Story, because I feel like we've done 2 expansions where it always feels like we're waiting for them to start telling the story. Hello again. Venari asked me to find you. She asked that you meet her in the Oasis. I shall join you shortly. I have some errands to run here first. Okay, this is marked as a main quest, so I don't know if this is the dungeon quest or just like one of those here's going to be your list of daily chores type quest. Guess we'll find out. Looks like I'm done in Tazavesh for now though. But they didn't do a good job of telling the story. If they had us discover the threads and maybe feel like less like Puppet Master and more like man with many plans, could have worked better. Well, that's the problem with the jailer, isn't it? The big problem with the jailer is they were always telling us the jailer is super clever, super dangerous, super imposing, super important, but we never felt it ourselves. He was just, whenever we encountered him ourselves, he just came across as a bit of a caricature. And I still maintain that it just makes sense that he's a puppet because he acts like a puppet. He acts like someone's like this cartoon villain who isn't saying anything substantial but is just being trotted out to be a baddie. Like, I think it works if my theory is right, but as an actual person, he's very sort of empty.
For you, I offer
You, are
only
you the new help?
finest.
Come over here. Venari did not tell me she was hiring off-worlders. Good help is so hard to find. I suppose you will have to do.
You struck a hard bargain.
Venari is very busy.
Good show.
While both her and Omtalad are away, I will give you your orders. We have many creatures here in the oasis. They make messes. Go clean
Your
them up.
patronage is always appreciated.
Come back when you're done. I will have more tasks for you. Perhaps spreading fertilizer? The whole Jailer Primus thing reminded me of Ghost in the Shell. I got a few comments like that, but I haven't watched Ghost in the Shell, so I wouldn't know. I feel like the last expansions have nice story parts, but big picture has been messy. Dragonflight's story is terrible. I don't know why it doesn't get criticized more. Like, Aberrus is... Well, people didn't like Aberrus. But for me, I mean, that expansion, it lost me when, what's-her-face, Alexstrasza was like, yay, the day is saved, everything's happy and good, and Fyrakk is flying around burning things down. Like, at no point was there a connection between what was going on in the story and what was going on in the game. It always felt at odds. And then we go on that quest with Alexstrasza, and she's like, oh, I didn't realize my slaves don't want to be slaves. It's like, really, Alexstrasza? That never occurred to you? She's so, like, she comes across as so vapid in Dragonflight, and it sucks because Alexstrasza is a great character before Dragonflight, and I feel like they actually made me, I don't like her anymore because of Dragonflight. Please stop. I didn't realize who you were. Venari has arrived. She's waiting for you. I would have cleaned up shit for you, my man. I'm used to it. I'm a Azeroth champion. It's practically my duty. Find an appropriate task as punishment. Omtalad. I will not have my guests disrespected.
Everything
That's very
I've done
cute.
has been for Karesh.
I apologize for the task my custodian gave you. Good help is difficult to find.
I must protect my investment.
Day 1 orientation. We've taken some of the native species we've saved out of stasis. We will need to recreate their habitats. There are 2 primary species here, as well as this console to monitor species in the oasis. I recommend acquainting yourself with these creatures before we begin.
What is more valuable than home?
While you will be on assignment that benefit your skill set, there are also additional tasks that need to be done in the oasis on a regular basis. Well, these are typically done by the custodians. If you are in the area, I would not say no to your assistance with them, now and in the future.
My fortune
Yeah,
for
this
the
is one of
world
those
that was.
daily thingies. In the oasis, we looked to recreate Karesh as it was. As we fled, we were able to preserve the smallest amount of Karesh's species. We looked to rebuild, for them and for us, for Karesh. Your assistance is needed in the time to come. I got really pissed off in Dragonflight when Alexstrasza condescended to Rathian about the priority of the Dragonflights. Rathian as well. It feels like whoever was writing Rathian just thought that Rathian was an annoying character that nobody liked. Which is weird because at the same time they were trying to push Rathian, they were trying to sell his statue. And like Rathian is a popular character, especially with younger people. So I don't know why they shot themselves in the foot like that. It's very strange. Like, I can understand the Rathian-Sibelian conflict, and I didn't hate some of the arguments that they had as much as other people did. But and Abyssian, I do not agree. Ebonhorn, I do not agree that he should be a leader of the Dragonflight. Why should someone who has spent the last 10,000 years with Tauren, living as a Tauren, lead the Black Dragonflight? He's not, like, culturally, he's not a Black Dragon. Culturally, he's a Tauren. He belongs with the High Mountain Tauren. That's his home. That's his life. He can't just naturally be a leader of an entirely different group of people with its entirely different history and different values and different everything. So irritating. Plus, he was an annoying centrist. Like, Sibelian is like, you are useless and should die. And Rathian's like, I think that's a bit harsh. And Ebonhorn's like, oh, well, you're both wrong. It was terrible. I don't know about you, but I'm also tired of the therapy talk. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to associate myself with some of the edgy crowd, but also people don't talk like that. Yeah, I mean, look, I absolutely do not want to be on the crowd of, the sort of idiots who start complaining about woke and DEI and all that rubbish. I've got no interest in them. I've got nothing in common with them. But that said, I do agree that I'm sick of the therapy. I'm sick of it's a fantasy game. And at some point you need to stop using the game to work out your own therapy, you know? Like, I mean, you can bring your own real life stuff into writing. A good writer always does. But it needs to be a bit more subtle. When it sounds like literally everyone in World of Warcraft is going to therapy, it gets weird. It's definitely getting weird. And there's definitely an element of that in Dragonflight. And I could forgive it for Dragonflight. Because, like, okay, one expansion of healing, fine. But now we're done. Now we need to stop. And yeah, I would like to see a return to more sort of, like, it's not like you can't have, as I say, of course you can still have moral lessons. Of course you can still have people being morally good in the game and have important life stories that apply to real life politics. All of that can be in the storytelling, and a good writer will have all of that in storytelling. But it's got to be done better. It can't just be, we're going to write out what we said in therapy today in real life. You can't do that. People are going to notice it and it's going to irritate people. Like, you've got to be more subtle. Okay. What am I doing? I'm getting distracted. I don't want to do the side quest yet. I want to go do this orientation. So let's check this console. Exactly. It's too much on the nose. Yes. Oh, here's the console. Welcome, registered user. Please use this console to review the status of fauna in the oasis. Please select below for the status of specific species. Okay, lapbugs. The species is limited on impact upon the ecosystem due to a low population. Thorntails. The species is limited to its impact upon the ecosystem, low population. Okay, so they're all low population species at the moment. Is this going to be how we get animals in our player housing neighborhoods or something? Meet the Thorntail matriarch, meet the Slatebake alpha. Slatebake alpha is cute. He eyes you as you approach. Carefully reach out to the Slatebake alpha. The alpha paws the ground, then quickly moves its head forward and nudges your hand before pulling its head back. It then looks you dead in the eye and snorts. Yeah, I agree with what you said about the therapy thing. Can we just get back to Warcraft? The options of writing aren't you have to talk very obviously about your feeling and world politics openly versus you have to be edgy and do 2000s action writing. There are places in between. Exactly. You don't have to sound like you're literally a Democrat from America to tell a morally good story. You know, you can still have all of the good political messaging without it being too, I'm going to therapy. And to be clear, my problem isn't politics or feelings, it's that the writing doesn't feel authentic. It's, you know, I grew up religious. Well, my family was very religious. And I learned at like the age of 6 that if something was Christian, it was shit. And the reason I learned that was because I always got these, you know, I always got TV shows and books given to me to read that had been chosen for me because they would teach me Christianity. They had nothing to do with whether they were well written or not. It was just about pushing this Christianity onto me as a child. And it just, all it taught me is that Christianity, like if something's overly religious, it's badly written. And I mean, that's not even fair because some of my favorite literature is also stuff that had good Christian messaging, like the Narnia stories. If you meet a lot of people who grew up Christian who aren't Christian anymore, a lot of people still love Narnia because that was well written, that was good. And Narnia is heavily religious, but it's still better written. It's still entertaining. There's a subtlety about it that makes it good. The writing has to come first. It's got to be a good story. It's got to be a good, entertaining story. And then you can have whatever moral lesson you want to push in it. That's fine. And I genuinely don't care what morals you want to push as long as the story's good. But when the priority is to push your moral lesson, the story is going to suffer if that's not what you're focusing on first. Not that I'm saying having, like, believing therapy is good is the same thing as being a Christian, but I'm just saying, like, the idea is it should be the storytelling that's the priority here. The Thorntail matriarch watches as you approach. Carefully reach out. She's cute. Okay. What else okay, now that one's fine. Torn up earth, collect data, watering jug, and use watering jug to water plants. Yeah, I bet you anything this is a hint of some of the stuff we're going to get in neighborhoods. Especially if there are changes in this dome as a result of whatever I'm doing now. Exactly what you're explaining. That's a great way to describe it. Thank you. Like, again, with the Denath Trollbane line, I got quite a bit of flack for criticizing that line. Someone said I was being like Heels versus Babyface for saying I don't like the Denath Trollbane peace and tolerance line. But like, the thing is, I don't think it's not possible for the Sons of Lothar to promote tolerance and peace. And a lot of people pointed out that as a faction, they had lots of they'd accept people of any race to join their faction. So in that sense, they do have, they did promote tolerance and peace. And yeah, sure. But I think you can show that without actually having a character actually say, we promote tolerance. You know, you don't have to, you can be more subtle with these things. And it is silly to say the Sons of the Sons of Lothar promoted tolerance and mercy when that is just not what they were known for, when they were specifically known for chasing people across the universe to put an end to them. You know, it's a weird line and it's unnecessary, and I don't think it would make the Sons of Lothar into right-wing assholes if you didn't have them say that. I think you could still have them be plenty tolerant and plenty merciful without making that be the priority that they go out and say, this is what we are, you know? To be honest, I think Americans have a bit of a tendency to look at things too black and white and overcorrect. I think there's some of that too. I'd still prefer characters being 2 millimeters deep, I guess. Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, I don't know if I would say, oh, it's just Americans, because, you know, I come from South Africa and I live in Britain, and I can tell you the same problem exists all over the world, or at least what I've seen of it. And to be fair, it's not like this is a very deep story. It is World of Warcraft. So I don't even know if it's about depth. I think it's about subtlety. There's a way to tell us a fairly simple black and white story, you know, in a way that doesn't feel preachy. Requires Koreshi plants. Where is this plant? Oh no, this is where I've got to collect data. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, is this... Can I collect data here? Yes. I can water stuff, but I don't have data. I do not know how to collect this data. Ineffective on large trees or grass. Okay. Yeah, I am very confused now. Hey, there's the thing. That's not data, but it's this thing. I have to say, listening to you and Tally and Evie bring your perspectives as opposed to most web communities nowadays sometimes helps me with feeling less insane. I really appreciate you all. Oh, well, I really take that as a huge compliment. Thank you, because obviously I love Tallias and Inevital, and quite often they make me feel less insane as well, so I know what you mean there. Being compared to them is a huge compliment, so thank you very much. What's that? No, that's nothing. How do I collect? How do I collect data? Can I water this Roma? No. Can I water this tree? No. I mean, I was being cheeky. I didn't mean to isolate it to Americans or anything. Yeah, no, fair enough. I think we just tend to get American politics is so overwhelming. Everyone has to deal with it. It affects everyone outside of America. So we tend to talk about America and Americans when it's these discussions. I suppose it's unavoidable. What can you do? I am very confused by this quest. I'm going to have to go look it up in Wowhead and see if anyone's dropped a comment about what to do. Because I'm picking up stuff, but none of this is helping me collect data. Ooh! There's a data collecting drone! Aha! My readings are yours for science. Finally.
I swore an oath to restore my
You
word.
are unharmed. Excellent. That means we may proceed
Our
faster.
work has
Have you
just
been hard
begun.
at work? Should you wish to help out the custodians, there's always data to be collected, plants to be watered, and soil to flatten.
What is more
One
valuable
final
than
item
home?
before we begin. A special task suited to your unique capabilities. No, not killing. Flying. The Oasis requires donations. Donations come from advertising. Take these stacks of flyers and distribute them around
Our work
Tazavesh.
has just begun.
Don't worry about the litter. I've placed devices on these leaflets that will cause them to seek nearby brokers. Like... I like flying quests. Watching Tally's videos Watching Tally's videos is what brought me back to WoW, to be honest. Someone pointing nuances and not just hating everything 100% of the time.
The Wastelanders
Had a chance to
have
meet them in
intercepted
Gamescom too.
another caravan.
Yeah,
Recover what you can.
You know,
Make
I wouldn't-
Sure to send a message.
I probably wouldn't be playing World of Warcraft to this day. So actually, I have a lot to blame Taliesin and Nevertel for. Because, yeah, they got me back into WoW. It was during Legion, I think. And I was loving World of Warcraft, but I had too much else to do and I was getting overwhelmed. And it was watching their videos that got me back into the game. And then I ended up freelancing for Wowhead and writing about World of Warcraft, and it was all because of this interest that had been reignited in me thanks to watching Taliesin and Nevertel. So it's all their fault. But the ironic thing, and I was reminded of this the other day, is the way I was introduced to them is I watched a Taliesin I watched a Taliesin video that I completely 100% disagreed with. And I realized I still disagree with him about that, and it's about Sylvanas. I do not agree with that man about Sylvanas. Almost every time he expresses an opinion on Sylvanas, I think, no, you're wrong. Couldn't disagree with you more, mate. Like, he's like, oh, she must die in the next expansion. No, my dude, no. I disagree with you so strongly there. But that's the thing, is like, someone that you can disagree with a lot, but still really enjoy what they have to say, really appreciate their opinion and appreciate their perspective. That's what I find with both of them, and that's what I really like about them. It's not that I agree with everything they say, it's the fact that when I've got something to disagree with them about, they've still said something valuable, they've still added to the conversation in a way that I find really interesting. With some people, what they have to contribute to the conversation is wrong and boring. Funny how we came from our Mana Forges too much technology in the Burning Crusade to where we are today. Was that a thing? Any consortium bros appearing? If they have, I haven't noticed them. But to be fair, I've been quite distracted today. Nexus bro, Haramad was a cool dude in the finale of his questline in the Netherstorm. I need to replay the Netherstorm full questline again. It's been so long since I have. I've replayed some of the quests recently for the whole Dementia stuff, but not the whole zone. I have received several requests to donate already. Excellent work.
I must protect my investment.
We have need of more species to help pollinate. I've studied your world and I believe your bees in Somsang Valley will be the best. Not the fire ones though, too dangerous. Bring back some bees and we can see if they're suitable. Take the communicator in case I need to contact you.
My fortune for the world that
I've provided a portal for you. As payment, when you return with the bees, the real work starts. Okay, I can do that. That's lovely. I don't have any friends left to have those agree-disagree discussions, so I guess watching you guys also gives me a sense of that. One of my best friends is someone who I have almost exact same taste when it comes to stuff we like. Not World of Warcraft, but like other media, like movies, TV shows, books. But we have completely different takes on the things. It is so funny. Every time we actually talk about like a TV show, I'll hate a character she loves. I'll love an episode she hates. It's so funny. We both love the thing, but we have totally opposite taste after that. It's bizarre.
A fellow researcher.
So why did you portal here? To get bees. Bees? You used the teleport spell to come get bees? I really need bees. Apparently. Where did you come from anyway? Koresh. Koresh? I've never heard of it. Is it in Kalimdor? Never mind, I'm getting distracted. We need to save these bees. Let's save some bees.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
Random people appearing from thin air was not what I had on my list of expected interactions today. Still, you look capable. Perhaps you'll be interested in helping me out here.
So soon? Take care.
Don't be crazy. Something is agitating the bees, and I suspect it's these honey-crawled maulers. Take some down and see if it helps. Even if it doesn't, you're doing the world a favor. They are completely out of control.
The world is wild. Stay
Stormsong
safe.
has some of the biggest and best pollinators on Azeroth, when they aren't angry at least. If you're looking to take these, you'll need to try calm them down. It looks like their honey is being stolen. Yeah, I was stealing that honey when I was going for the mount. Try to take some honey back from those honey blob things. Can't hurt, right? Sorry, I'm more of a plant person than a bee person. They just come with the territory.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
We need to find out why the bees are acting the way they are. While you're out dealing with the real possible causes, I'll monitor the bees' response. Boy, this area is bringing back some memories. I loved the bee mounts. I grounded out very quickly. Talking about the things feeling like they're crowbarred in as opposed to feeling natural, things that feel natural. One thing I cannot stand from people is people who are like angry that Khadgar's in a wheelchair. Like that's stupid. First of all, he's in a magical wheelchair. It's super cool. It's like it floats. Secondly, it's Khadgar. I mean, the dude was aged prematurely. If they did that now, would people be complaining that that's a forced commentary on ageism or something stupid? Like, he went through a magical accident and now he's in a wheelchair. It makes total sense. There's nothing wrong with that. And also, it means that there are stakes in the game, because he didn't come out of that whole thing unscathed, which is good. We want there to be stakes. We want to have characters feel like something bad can happen to them that can irreversibly harm them, you know? So, like, that's where it gets really annoying. It's like you're trying to talk about how sometimes the game could feel less like... sometimes the game could feel a bit more natural and more cool, but then you get these people who jump onto the conversation to complain about Khadgar being in a wheelchair, and it's like, come on! That's not what I'm talking about at all. Ooh. Apparently I can't kill this person, I'm just stuck in combat with them. Come on, Blizzard, don't do dirty on our consortium buddies. They deserve a spotlight since we're back to Koresh. Hold on, okay. The consortium were the good guys that we helped kill the Ethereum, right? Who is the leader of the consortium again? Let me look that up. Consortium. Nexus Prince Haramat. Is he the one that they talk about in the main quest line? No, they talk about Saldahar in the main quest line, the leader of the Ethereum. But they must talk about the consortium, because they talk about going to... they talk about the efforts in Netherstorm and all of that. Honey globule. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to that quest that's got the Void Elf Demon Hunter today, because look at me, I'm in Kulturas killing honey creatures for some reason. Not sure I love the ecodome stuff, if I'm being honest. It seems a little dull. And it does reek of bringing stuff to the neighborhood preparation. But we'll see.
Oh, good. I could
Don't
use
be
your help.
crazy. Good job. I mean, it didn't help. The bees are still upset, but you did make the world a safer place, so credit where credit is due.
The world is
Did
wild.
you get the honey?
Stay safe.
Well done. I shan't shake your hands, though. Just well done. Unfortunately, the bees are still very upset. Still, we might find a use for the honey later.
So soon? Take care.
While you were out, I scouted some of the smaller beehives. They all look like they suffered damage. We should investigate them. Maybe it's the cause of their aggression.
If you find anything interesting, let
We
me
need
know.
to deal with the hive guardians one way or another if we're going to investigate this place. I do hope we
The
don't have to
world
kill
is
them.
wild. Stay safe.
I'll come with you to... Ah! Who is that?
With funding comes salvation.
I gave you this communicator in case I need to talk to you. Not the other way around. Okay, Venari, I apologize. Tranquilizers, anything is thrown by temporarily disrupting the spiritual web, non-invasive and pain-free. Apparently a common prank to pull on unsuspecting friends. Didn't read that. The hive shows clear signs of damage. Damage could not have been done by maulers and instead appears to be caused by something with slender legs. You notice a lot of dead bees inside. The queen bee of this hive lies dead, surrounded by bees from her hive. You see large puncture holes in them. The wounds are too clear to be maulers. It's clean to be maulers. This was done by precision, not madness. Oh no, it looks like the larger bees attacked the smaller bees. They're out of control. Quick, let's check with the last hive. This is probably because we came along and stole all that honey, to be honest. Far-reaching consequences. You find a queen bee huddled in the back of the hive. She is surrounded by the corpses of her colony. It's clear without help she won't last long.
I'm so glad you're here. So soon.
Oh no, the poor queen
Take
bee. We
care.
have to save her.
The world is
Bees
wild.
are super pollinators. It's
Stay
incredibly
safe.
unfortunate they're so murderous right now. Normally, they're quite calm.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
If we can save the smaller bees, they can join the queen's colony. I just wish we had some way of capturing or transporting them. Do you have any ideas? Perhaps that friend of yours has something. If you come across any of the larger bees, I worry they may be beyond saving. Do what you have to do.
So soon? Take care.
We need a way to lure out the queen so we can take her away from here. Oh, the honey you gathered earlier. Put that out to lure her, then catch her in this ventilated jar. You said you were after bees? I think she'd be a great fit.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
Hey, she's one of those black bees. I should get a black bee mount at the end of this. Right? Right?
A fellow researcher?
If we can get her to safety and bring her some of the hive, they can rebuild.
So soon?
We saved her.
Take
Let's
care.
take her to Koresh, was it? Always nice to see new parts of
The
Azeroth.
world is wild. Stay safe.
You are certainly taking your time. Have you acquired the bees yet? I need something to help transport the bees to Koresh. You're in luck. I have just the item. Point, click. Anything small enough will be transported directly to Koresh. Is it safe? It's safe enough that I would use it on you if the occasion
I
required
must
it.
protect my investment.
Gonna go vacuum up some bees. Apparently there's a portal in the black hat that leads in the back that leads directly to Koresh. You've been assured it's safe. Probably. Okay, let's vacuum up some honeybees. By the way, what do you think about Blizzard hates Horde? It's always Horde leaders it's always Horde leaders' comments. I think makes sense considering Horde being stitched groups of outcasts for newcomers. It's cool that we're finding the way. Versus Alliance, who's mostly stable and consists of mostly established groups and races. So I think, I don't think Blizzard hates the Horde. I think that's a silly I think that's just hyperbole. I do think that at the moment there's an undeniable Alliance bias. And I say bias, not prejudice, because it's sort of like an almost unseen bias where you can see that the writers very often, you can see it's an Alliance player who wrote this, very often. The writing about the Alliance, if they write about a neutral story, quite often they bring in a lot of Alliance references, Alliance characters. If they write about a Horde story, quite often they don't seem to get it, like they don't seem to understand what makes the Horde tick. I think you see this the most with the Forsaken. It feels like nobody on Blizzard's writing team plays a Forsaken or understands the Forsaken, because how could they have possibly ever thought Kalia would be an accepted leader? And then now, okay, so they understood people didn't like Kalia. I mean, it really hit home with them. And now they've got Lillian instead. And again, like, do you not know that Lillian is not a Forsaken? She's never been a Forsaken. She was someone who rejected the Forsaken. So she's kind of a terrible leader because she doesn't represent the Forsaken very well. I like Lillian, I always have, but I don't think she's a good Sylvanas replacement. And I think that happens quite often. It's the same thing with the whole Renzik situation in Undermine. I don't understand why the one Alliance Goblin had to get such a main storyline role in the Goblin story, because it would be one thing if there was a lot of Horde presence in previous stories, but the entire expansion has been very Alliance focused, heavily Alliance focused. And again, when you have Horde characters, it feels often like they're just there. Like Thrall, on the PTR, they had him having trouble with the elements again, and then they wrote that out. But it's clear they don't know what to do with him. Like they're not sure why he's there. A lot of the stuff with Bane as well is like they don't know what to. They don't seem to understand these characters. They keep pushing them in as like, and like with all that said, that is why I don't want them to just have the characters just for token representation's sake, because when they do that, it's very unsatisfying and they get it wrong. And I don't think it's just an Alliance bias problem, because people have similar complaints about how they've written the Gilneans, how they've written the Night Elves. I think it might just be a Stormwind City human bias that's sort of creeping in, where all we hear about is the humans, the humans, the humans. And I get that humans are one of the most popular races that people play in World of Warcraft. I'll never understand it, but I get it. So I guess that might be part of the reason for the focus. But it is a little it's a little depressing for me, because I was introduced to World of Warcraft's story through Warcraft 3, which I would argue has a very strong Horde bias. Like Warcraft 3, the main character's got to be Thrall, you know? Like, yes, all of the formative Alliance storyline is there as well, with Arthas and Jaina and all of that, of course. But like Sylvanas, Thrall, in fact, Thrall is the main character of Warcraft 3. It feels very much like that story is about the Horde. And a lot of the messaging of that story is like very strong Horde messaging. And it's because of Warcraft 3 that I play Horde and that I identify as Horde, even though I play both sides now, because I fell in love with how they portrayed in that. And like many, I had hoped that Chris Metten would bring some of that back now that he's returned, because he's, Thrall. And I'm not seeing it yet. So I don't know. All that said, well, I think part of the problem as well is when they do have writers who understand the Horde, they seem to, like, a lot of people don't seem to like Christy Golden. and think she's got alliance bias. And I mean, they're wrong. I'm sorry, but they're wrong. Christy Golden has written some of the best Horde literature that exists. She wrote Rise of the Horde. She understands the Horde, and she really gets it when she's got the Horde in her books. She knows what she's talking about. And she was writing for the quest lines as well. She was working in an advisory capacity at Blizzard, and they got rid of her. So they only have her for books again, which was so stupid. Why did they do that? She's like, she understands the story, and she's really good at keeping it on track. And I think it's really unfair. A lot of people sort of act like she's the problem when actually she's the solution. And the problem is that they don't listen enough to people like her.
Oh, good. I could use your help.
I have mixed, I don't get Lillian being Forsaken leader. And some people have been saying Lillian should be that for a while now. I have mixed thoughts about Kalia. Again, with better build-up, could have worked better. She's awesome. I definitely agree with you. Okay, that last comment, you mean Christy Golden is awesome. Yes. Kalia, I love Kalia. I think Kalia is fantastic. But I hate how she's being used, or how she's been used. It's been such a waste. I don't know what they were thinking trying to make her a Forsaken character. She was never, ever, ever going to be a Forsaken character. She is a really fascinating Alliance character and should stay that way. And she could become an incredibly interesting villain if they were willing to do that with her, but they don't seem to want to. Trying to turn her into the Sylvanas replacement is one of the more out of touch decisions I've seen Blizzard try to make. That was like, what were you doing? I feel like you can't have ever played Horde in your life to thought for even a moment that would have been a good idea or would have gone down well with Forsaken players.
So soon?
There was an
Take
extremely
care.
unorthodox method of capturing bees, but it was a successful one.
The world is wild.
I'm pretty sure vacuuming up
Stay
bees
safe.
isn't good for them. We've secured the queen, apparently sent some bees to Koresh, so how do we get there?
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
I've provided you may use this portal to return swiftly. Thank goodness, I'm done with these bees. I'm very much over this whole oasis thing. Just not a natural beekeeper, I'm afraid.
Everything I've
Congratulations,
done has been
you've
for
secured the
Koresh.
bees after much delay. They are in the atrium. Once the queen bee is delivered, we may begin our research.
Our work has
I'll
just
send your
begun.
guest to the atrium to handle the bees. You should check on her. No doubt she needs assistance.
What is more valuable than home?
Hey, what's up with the sky? Oh, we aren't on Azeroth anymore, are we? How come this woman's with us? Check out those plants. Oh, this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to write so many papers. Okay, we just kidnapped a human from Azeroth. That's
With funding
fine.
comes salvation.
I want to see the bees. I rescued these bees. Where are they? Is there a bee hive somewhere? I don't see any bees. Kinda wondering why I wasted my time collecting bees. What's that? Seems a bit dodgy. Okay, well, what side quests do we have here? Yeah, same for me about the Horde. I think Horde was way more interesting after Warcraft 3. Speaking of Warcraft 3, I wish they treated Night Elves more like Warcraft 3 version rather than the bland WoW version. I guess it got better. I love the Warcraft cinematic with Fury, but for years, Elves were so they like trees and they go with with what humans decide. Yeah, I actually was thinking about that with the dragons as well. You know, if you read the old lore books, what's that guy's name? The one author, I really don't like him, but he writes all the dragon books. Richard A. Nark, yeah. Don't like him. Absolutely despise his writing style. find his books creepy, to be honest. But he did create some of the most foundational lore. And here's the one thing I will give him credit for is when he writes dragons, they are genuinely terrifying. There's some scenes with Alexstrasza where she's so scary. And like, you can feel that just being in her presence is terrifying. She's still this loving mother in his books, but she's also a dragon, so she's scary. And when you compare that to what the dragons are like in Dragonflight, it's like, it's so, they lose everything that makes them cool. They've turned it, I mean, in Dragonflight, Alexstrasza is an idiot. She's vapid, she's certainly not intimidating. And I guess the problem is, if you have a story where you have to actually spend time with them, they can't be scary anymore. They can't be intimidating because now you've got to relate to them. Now you've got to see them in their day-to-day, and naturally they're just not going to be like that anymore. But it is a pity when they lose that. And I think I agree with you with the Night Elves. Like, I think maybe they were sort of trying to return to the savage Night Elf. I mean, I don't know if that's the best terminology I could have used there, but like the more scary Night Elf, I think they were trying to return to that a bit with, what do you call it? Battle for Azeroth, with Darkshaw and stuff. But the problem with that is, because the Night Elves were also being used as punching bags, it wasn't so cool. It wasn't cool so much as sad. And then they found peace and love again, and now they're peace and love again, and that's fine because they've got a new home, and that's nice for them, and they're going to get Teldrassil back, and that's nice for them. But it would also still be cool to see the Night Elves who used to be genuinely terrifying return a bit. So yeah. Just, I suppose, have to give them a reason to. The problem is, like, how do you make them scary without without harming them in a way that makes them angry, Considering the fact that the poor Night Elves have already been victimized so much, you don't want to victimize them more. Tripping the Void. Greetings, I am Dryridge. I think you could help with a project of mine. The nearby expanse of purple-hued crystal is ripe with potential. The void-infused glass could have many uses, from being a spell regent to being melted down for crafts. I can't get near it myself, but someone like you will have no trouble at all. Bring me back some samples of the void glass so I can assess its worth to future buyers. Even this battered rock has potential for profit. There's a market of those crystals if I can get out of here. Oh. Void glass is just something A bee test. Oh, this other quest line isn't done. Okay, good. Except, oh. Why is it in the other ecodome? That explains why I couldn't find the bees. I should go back and read. I only have bad memories of those books, to be honest. Look, I am not going to be the person who recommends you go read anything by Narc again, because don't put yourself through it. Like, there's moments where I like some things that happen, but it's still Narc, and his writing style is
what was I going to
quite
ask about?
grating.
Oh, you're right. Tools.
I'm the last person to encourage reading him.
I'm so glad you're here.
Bees are so resilient. Look at them go. How are you finding Koresh? Once you get past the giant gaping void swirl of doom in the sky, it isn't half bad. Food has been the only problem. Venari has been helpful. She's been making constant comments about my owing her. Now that I've provided you with substance, you must take care of bees for another day. That was the plan all along. I'm on another world again. I'd paid them to let me work here. It's all so fascinating.
So soon? Take care. The world is
Hello
wild.
again. Are you here to help out?
Stay safe. If you find anything interesting, let me know.
No, I don't want to do more bee stuff. Are you kidding? You cannot be serious. I'm so sick of these bees. It's taking the hive a while to get up and running, and they are low on honey. Thankfully, you gathered plenty of honey back in Stormsong. Could you feed the queen?
world is
Poison
wild.
the queen.
Stay safe.
The bees seem to be doing very well in this new environment. They're even starting to pollinate the plants here. We should document it. It's not science. If you don't write it down, you'll find them mostly around the plants.
So soon? Take care.
Has the initials WF in the back. How Venari got this is a mystery. Appropriated as a Rothian camera. So who's WF? Whose camera is that? This honey has come in a suitable receptacle. You know because you were a sticky mess putting it in there. Oh, cool. And I'm stuck. Ah, there we go. Anyway, I have to return to work. Thanks for the chats. You make awesome content. Thank you for all of it. Thank you so much for keeping me company. I really enjoyed it. I actually have to stop streaming soon. But I'm going to be back. Well, let me finish these stupid bees. But I'm going to be back at 4 o'clock. Well, 4 o'clock British summertime. With Trueville and Manny to chat about the PTR. Unfortunately, I didn't get this quest. I didn't find the Void Elf Demon Hunter quest because I was too busy dealing with bees. Who, I gotta say, I'm done with the bees. I do not care if these bees live or die. There's only so many bees puns before it gets old. This is very tedious. I'm walking around photographing one bee at a time. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who absolutely love this quest. And that's good. And fine, it is not for me. So if you walk at all, the camera shuts down. So you got to open up, get the photo, close it again.
At last, we return to Karesh.
Have you thought of getting into science yourself? Your dad handed it.
If
I'm
you
not gonna
find
lie.
anything interesting,
I'm getting
let
real
me
sick of bee
know.
puns.
So
The bees
soon?
will do well here.
Take
Look at
care.
her. She's so happy, not worrying about those horrible death bees.
The world is
Alright, let's
wild.
get these bees into
Stay
Ecodome
safe.
Primus for the next round of tests.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
Let's move our tests into the Ecodome Primus. We'll test them out with actual Koreshi animals. That's pretty exciting. No, it's not. Not even a little.
Oh, good.
If I were
I
a
could
bee,
use
I
your
would be a
help.
queen bee.
The world is wild. Stay safe.
If bees are doing well and have no negative interactions with the local fauna, but what about the flora? I have some cuttings of plants from the oasis. Would you gather some cuttings from this dome so I can
If
compare
you find
them?
anything interesting, let me know.
I think we should start preparing to move the bees into the oasis. I'd like to tag them so we can monitor the hive. Bees don't tend to stand still for long. We need to tranquilize and tag them. I've tagged the queen. Would you tag the honeybees?
So soon? Take care.
I've already tranquilized bees. But okay, we'll do more. Get some flowers. The fragrance from the Koreshi flora tends to be more tart than many other plants in Azeroth. . Okay, I'm just going to repeatedly tranquilize this poor bee, apparently. This... I like these flowers. They're very pretty.
I'm so glad you're here. If you find
I'm
anything
terribly excited
interesting,
to
let
work
me
on
know.
plants again. It's been quite a while now. Get it? Bean?
The world is wild. Stay safe.
Alenra, I absolutely despise you. I genuinely hate you. Excellent. The bees and plants are getting along nicely. This means they're ready for the oasis.
So soon?
Thank you. I hope you didn't
Take
get stung.
care.
Alright, let's get these bees over to the oasis and meet you there.
The world is wild.
I'll meet you in the
Stay
oasis. See you in a bit. Alright. Coming back to the oasis.
A fellow
Let's start
researcher.
helping the bees get a climber.
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
The hive has settled in quite well. I'd like to do a quick honey check though. The pollen in these plants is quite different and it should change the honey quite a bit. We need to make sure it's working for the hive. It should be fine based on the experiments in the earlier domes. Best to check though, right?
So soon? Take care. Oh, good. I could use your help.
It seems the insects have acclimated to our environment. Your task is
But there may still be issues. So far, they've been thriving, but the queen needs honey to eat.
They will make honey from the plants here, will they not?
Well, yes. But these plants are foreign, and so there's no telling what kind of honey the pollen will make, if it's nutritionally adequate, or if the queen will even like the flavor for that.
I had not taken that into consideration.
Of course, I could always stay here and continue their maintenance.
And continue to sample our plant life, I assume.
It would be such a pity if the efforts to import them were wasted, would it not?
Very well, you may remain, but do not forget why you are here. The cultivation of life, and do not expect monetary compensation.
We'll just trade service and fostering for scientific study and call it even.
At least her cleverness will be put to good use.
I don't know what it is about this quest line, but it's making me hate bees. The Koresh honey has unexpected slightly sour taste with its sweetness. Pet the queen bee. That's cute. It's like petting things and get the hearts. I better get a queen bee pet or mount or something after this, that's all I'm saying. Oh, is this going to be one of those daily quest lines where at the end of it you get a mount maybe? Have you collected the honeycomb? I'll run an analysis on this to ensure there are no issues. Thank you. Alanra mentioned another task you have if you have the time. Alanra requested I pass on a message. Hey Amtalad, I'm going to dance for the bees so they know where the new flowers are. Can you ask Blood Bubbles to do the same? Odd, but please feel free to frolic. Ooh, what's going on there? That was weird. Strange lag spike. Oh, I see. Okay. That's kind of cute. Doing the bee dance. Need to end the stream, but I'm pretty determined to get the stupid bee quest line done first. Okay, Botanist Alanra, please tell me we're done.
I'm so glad
Have you
you're
been
here.
dancing? Oh my god. You did well. This will help the bees and the oasis flourish. More bees knowing where more plants are can't possibly go wrong.
If you find anything interesting, let me
I just
know.
spotted a few bees flop to the ground. I think they've overworked themselves trying to get at the new plants. They'll be fine. They're just tired. Can you help me pick them up and bring them back to the hive?
So soon? Take care.
Wow, I really hate this quest line. It feels like the most pointless series of tasks that I've ever been told to do. Ever. It's the only way it makes sense to me is if it's one of those you only get one quest available a day for a period of like a month, and then at the end of the month you get some prize, because nothing else explains doing so much busy work over and over and over again. Also, I can't find any bees to pick up. Oh, there we go. There definitely could be more honeybees on the ground. It is... Oh. This is not fun. There we go. Also, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to pick up bees if you see them lying on the ground. That's what I was told about bumblebees. Just leave them alone. So it's bad bee practices. I suppose it's fine if you're actually the ecologist in charge of the bees. Which I'm not, so... Where are the bees? Just one more. There we go. Where's their hive? Return to the queen, but shouldn't they have a hive?
Fellow researcher, the world is
there you are.
wild.
It's time for documentation.
Stay safe.
We need to keep track of how the bees are doing in the oasis. I filled out the paperwork already. Perhaps you could get me some photos of the
So
bees in action.
soon? Take care.
Cannot be serious. I've already taken photographs of the bees. What is the point of this quest line? B-roll. I need to look up this quest line. Get an idea of how long it is. Okay, I'm nearly at the end of it. And it's that stupid you can get one photo of a bee at a time quest. Oh my god, a curse on the house who came up with this quest line. All the things people were saying about Legacy of Arathor, calling it boring, which I didn't think so. That's what I think about this quest line. I think this is some of the most boring questing I have ever experienced in World of Warcraft. Which is not what you want to hear about the new patch, and I do not mean to be a doomer. A lot of the new patch is great. I just really hate this quest line. I'm sorry, I'm complaining a lot. But in my defense, it is a terrible quest line. I wonder why I can't mount up there.
I'm so glad you're
You really
here.
have this photography down, you know. I better, since you got me to do it twice, look at the composition of the shot. We don't need a catalogue of Wolford levels of photos, but I do appreciate them.
The world is
The
wild.
photos make me think the hive
Stay
is ready
safe.
to swarm. This is the ultimate goal of any hive. Birth a new queen and create a new hive. It does mean our queen needs to move to a new location, but there is plenty of Ecodome to go around, right? Can you help her find a new location?
If you find anything interesting, let me know.
Shame, she just got to this location. Feels like she deserves a little bit of time to, you know, have a breather before we move already. Oh boy. Also, there's no hive there, so where is she what is she moving away from exactly? Hopefully they establish a new hive. Ah, the bar disappears. Oh, no, okay. I'm going the wrong way. This seems better. Doesn't look like I can mount up for this. This is promising. No, stop. What? Aha! Okay. The queen dips her head a few times but doesn't make any attempts to move towards this location. The queen is gonna get stepped on, I'll tell you what. Okay, she likes that spot. Still no hive though.
Oh, good.
Excellent,
I
our
could
queen
use
is
your
all grown
help.
up.
So soon? Take care.
I think that's one of the worst quest lines I've ever played in World of Warcraft. Not to be over dramatic or anything.
There you are. Good.
Oh boy.
There are many tasks that have been waiting on your arrival.
I suspect I'm
Please
going
see
to be
their
giving the
completion.
Oasis a proper skip if that is the caliber of questline I can expect in there. Anyway, that is me for now. I do still have side quests that I need to play through, but I'm doing the podcast in an hour and I want to take a break before then. So I will be ending the stream for now. We will see if I do any more streaming this weekend or next week. Because as I say, I need to get through these side quests. It will depend on how much time I have. But for now, thank you very much for joining me. Sorry I complained so much towards the end there. Really enjoyed the conversations we had today. It was a lot of fun. And goodbye. Bye.